Welcome everyone. So I would like to start this circle with a Asato mantra. Asato ma Sangamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So, again, welcome everyone. I'm Claire, and if you don't know me yet and want to know more about what I'm offering here, I invite you to watch the introduction video that is in the description of this video. And to give you a quick idea of what we're going to do today, it's a new moon circle that includes Yoga Nidra. And I blend Yoga Nidra with Ayurveda, which is the traditional medicine system from India, and Vedic Astrology to bring balance and harmony. So if you're new to Yoga Nidra, there is also a video in the description of this live, which explains in detail what it is. And just know that you don't need any previous experience. You just allow yourself to be fully guided. So the structure for today is if anyone would like to share from their experience from the previous class in the chat, and I will be monitoring that. And then if there is no comment, or after we finished with the comment and the sharing from the past circle, I will share the theme of this new moon. And then we'll practice a little pranayam with the mudra so we can prepare ourselves for the practice of Yoga Nidra. And the practice of Yoga Nidra will be shared exclusively with the members of Mosqoy. And if you would like to join this, you also have the details in the description of this live. So yeah, there's still time for you to join us. And after that, we will be closing with sharing. So if you have any questions before we get started, please put that into the chat. And if you don't have any questions, you can also put whichever you want to share from the past circle in the chat, and I will be monitoring that now. If you don't have any questions or you have nothing to share, but you want to share your name and where you are in the world in the chat, that would be great as well. Hello. Right, so we have somebody sharing about the last month practice, and it was very deep, which is typically the case with Scorpio. And we really go deep down inside. So, yeah, thanks for sharing that. All right. So while comments or locations come in, um, I will share a little bit about the new moon theme for this month. So again, why are we meeting at the new moon? Is because the moon is with the sun in the sky, so we cannot see her. She's completely dark, and the energy is at its lowest. So it's perfect for resting, for meditating, for taking care of ourselves. And just as the energy is going down, it actually sets the energy for the entire moon cycle that is coming. So it's actually going to be in a little bit less than, well, a little bit over 40 minutes, is it? Yes. That the new moon is gonna happen. So we will probably be at the end of the yoga nidra practice at the time of the new moon. So that will be a great time, to really set intentions and have messages coming to you through the practice. And in general, the new moon is a great time, to set intentions. And yoga nidra, as you really go, you tap inside so that you can reprogram yourself, so that you can set an intention, plant the seed of an intention. Practicing yoga nidra at the new moon is actually very ideal. So the new moon today is going to be in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is associated with the fire element. And how it is represented in Vedic astrology is lightning. This is the light. The light is associated with fire. And this is the light in the atmosphere. And Sagittarius embodies law and justice. And it has a very wise energy, very, very adventurous and driven. There is a quest for truth and for higher meaning. And it's guided by Jupiter. So Jupiter is represents wisdom as well. So no doubt, it's associated. Sagittarius is it's inspiring. It's inspiring us to see how life could be a sacred journey of learning. Jupiter is about learning as well. So Sagittarius is a bit of a dance between faith and freedom, between getting in touch with our intuition and wisdom and exploration and understanding. So it really invites us to aim. It's represented as an arrow going up. And so it really invites us to aim our inner arrow toward the horizon of truth, so we can expand beyond limitation and trust the guidance of divine purpose. And the new moon is happening in a section of the sky, a nakshatra, a star, in Vedic astrology, which is Moola. And Moola is the foundation of the original star. And the way it is represented is by, it's a tied bunch of roots, basically. And so Moola is that. It's the energy of the root. So it takes us deep beneath the surface into the hidden soil of who we are. And here we will find the origin of our strength, but also the origin of our pains, of our fears, the patterns we've carried for lifetimes. And it asks us to be brave enough to dig, so we can look honestly at what we've buried, because only by facing what's underneath can we truly heal. And this is the nakshatra of uprooting, of pulling out what's rotten or false, so something healthy and real can grow in its place. So it's a very fierce power that Moola has, but it is a medicine. It will cleanse the spirit by removing what is no longer meant to stay. And through Moola, we learn that endings, they aren't punishment, they're purification. So every loss makes room for renewal. Every unraveling prepares the ground for new creation. So it reminds us that being rooted doesn't mean holding on. It means knowing where we come from. It means growing through the dark and trusting that even when everything falls apart, the root remains alive beneath the soil, ready to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more whole. Mm, that's beautiful energy, Moola. Very deep, very intense as well, but beautiful. Well, don't have further comments to share today, so I will share a little pranayam, breathing exercise, with a mudra to help us connect with the energy of this new moon. And then we'll go into the Yoga Nidra with the members of the circle. So the breathing we're going to do today is Ujjayi. So Ujjayi is basically the ocean breath. It sounds a little bit like Darth Vader, but it's very heating. So that will activate the fire element in us. And with that, we're going to use Apana Mudra. Apana Mudra, you put together the middle finger and ring finger with the tip of the thumb. And you make like a round, really a circle, not pointy, as round as you can, the tips together. And you extend as best you can as well the index finger and the pinky finger. And that makes it look a little bit like a llama. And we're going to do that with both hands. That's Apana Mudra. And so you place both hands on your lap. You're going to be cross-legged if you can. If you can't be cross-legged, but just sitting on the chair, you can cross your ankles together. So have your right ankle at the top of the left ankle so that your legs are crossed. And if you can be cross-legged completely, that's great. And then you put your hands in Apana Mudra on your lap, on your thighs, and relaxed. You keep the tension up until the wrist, and you allow the rest of your body to feel relaxed. Your shoulders, the rest of the arms are fully relaxed. And the breathing is a little bit like this. So maybe the sound is gonna, the microphone is gonna do a great job at catching the breathing sound as if it was just background noise and removes it. But hopefully, if it doesn't, you will hear what I'm trying to share here. So Ujjayi is really breathing at the pit of the throat. With a constriction. And it's all happening from the nose. So the reason why we are using Apana Mudra, so Ujjayi breath is for the fire, to activate the fire inside. And Apana Mudra is to provide a sense of grounding, to allow our roots to get into the soil. And it eliminates the negative thinking from the mind. It's related to anything that goes downward, the downward moving energy. So it supports also elimination, menstruation, childbirth, any problem with hemorrhoids, constipation, diabetes too. It will really help all of this. So if you're ready, you can set yourself up with a mudra, sitting well, cross-legged. Then you can close your eyes and start the breathing. We're going to do 12 rounds. One round is one inhale, one exhale. So we're going to do 12 rounds at your own rhythm. Don't overforce the constriction, but just make a noise so that if there was somebody sitting right next to you, they could hear it, and the person next to them couldn't, basically. Right. When you're finished with your 12 rounds, you can keep your eyes closed and slowly observe your breath. You can release the mudra, relax your arms. And then when you feel ready for the members of Mosqoy, you can lie down for the Yoga Nidra practice, making sure you have a blanket or two to cover yourself as the temperature of the body will drop. And for anyone else, I hope you had a beautiful session with us tonight. And I'm gonna make some updates in the format of what I share in the coming year, so stay tuned for more Yoga Nidra practices. Thank you everyone for being here. Have a beautiful night, and I'll see the members of Mosqoy for the Yoga Nidra on the other side.